I am an abstract artist, almost strictly non-representational. So my paintings, like the big one in the background here, really don't have any discernible objects in them. For me, my style is about evoking emotion and thoughts and memories.
Jimmy?
My work is leaning more and more towards a depiction of autism, what it's like to be autistic. My thinking is you understand the condition if you're put in the driver's seat, I'll put you in the driver's seat. And that's really where I'm going.
Well, my mom was an artist, so I was just kind of immersed in it from a very young age. My earliest memory is being about 4 years old and accompanying my mom to her office space in Philadelphia where she did copywriting work, and I helped her create an owl, and we did like the color overlays. And that's when I realized I could have a profession where I could be creative and I could enjoy what I did, and it didn't have to be a 9-to-5 business suit kind of thing. So I just kind of went in that direction from toddler years onwards.
Jimmy?
For me, probably when I was about 2 years old, and I got my first set of crayons. My mother has always said she had 2 children. My sister is an artist too, but not driven to it. But Mom said, "You're just like, it's like breathing for you. It's something you have to do." And when you're on the spectrum, when you're autistic, you can't communicate verbally. It's a problem. It's something I'm learning, but it's a problem. And it's like, I've always been able to communicate when I write or when I paint. So it's really my way of speaking. Autism is a life of a habitual ritual. And I've kind of, it's about obsessions, serial obsession. So I've kind of tried to present it so that maybe people can get a better idea of what it is, because so many people are not sure about autism and how it works. Some people don't believe it even exists. Well, trust me, it does. And there are rules. It's a life of habitual ritual, so there are rules. And that's, with my pieces, I'm kind of like showing you different aspects of it that maybe no one has addressed, nobody knows about. And that sort of thing. But I've done pieces, and neurotypical people will look at them and they like them. Autistic people will light on them like moths to a flame because I put little hidden signals in there that we know.
Soul of the Artist is the title that I actually came up with after Jimmy and I discussed what should our theme be, what drives us, and it seems like every theme that we talked about, or everything that inspires us in the artwork that we do comes back to, or boils down to, what's really deep inside us, kind of in our soul, that is that creative spirit just dying to get out there on the canvas and out into the world. So you're really going to see a variety of work. Even though I have a very specific style and Jimmy has a very specific style, there's quite a wide variety of paintings that we do within those style genres. So it's all about all of these things in our soul coming out onto the canvas. Some of it is joyful and some of it is painful. Some of it is very calm and serene, and some of it is just really just a lot of energy, or sometimes even fury. So you're going to see what I call a roller coaster of the show.
Yes, because Alex will be the palate cleanser, because I have a couple of things. I mean, I'm not going for unpleasant, but there are some things. I'm doing a piece on traumatic brain injury, and my thought was, when you have a traumatic brain injury, and there's several, you're subjected to these sudden fits of rage. Where they come from is a misfire in the brain, this kind of epileptic syndrome. And it's sudden, it's brutal. I've never taken it out on anybody, but I've destroyed a room full of furniture before. And so I'm doing a painting called The Wasp Factory that I was like, it's got to be as brutal as the experience. If it's not, it's dishonest. So, I mean, my stuff is not the stuff you hang, you know, oh, this is my pretty room, oh, look at my, no, it's not that stuff. It's much more challenging, I think. But again, it fits into the whole, puts you into the driver's seat, because a lot of artists spend their entire career, and I've met several, looking for honesty. That is an unfiltered, unflavored by their backgrounds, their religious upbringing, or whatever. They're looking for a place where it's just honest, and that's what this is. And it may be hard to look at. You know, I don't know. It depends on your sensibilities, but it's honest, and that was really the only important thing for me.
I don't think there has ever been a point in the last 30 years that I would consider myself being on a professional level as an artist. I don't think there was ever a point where I wanted to walk away from it permanently. But there were many, many occasions where, as I mentioned, I walked away from it for several weeks or several months at a time because my muse just went into hibernation. But it always came back. I can't think of any time where I really wanted to just walk away from it altogether. I did do theater for 10 years, and I walked away from that and never went back. There are certain aspects that I tried to channel my creativity into that I burned out and was like, no. But not with the painting, not with the fine art side of things.
I quit painting for 26 years. I painted heavily. I was, as far as I know, the only science major fine art minor in ODU ever. How that happened, we don't know. But I spent most of my life, I started painting when I was maybe 13, 14, and bang, 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 bang. And then I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, and it was more and more. And finally, when I was 26, I was working on a painting. I still have it in a closet. And I was like, no. So I hung it up. And then I did other things for 26 years. And then she came to me and was like, there's a thing on the web that's like a little easy.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, there's prizes. So I whipped one out in 3 days. I wanted an honorable mention, but this was like an international.
26 years.
And yeah, honestly, my first painting in 26 years. So I was like, okay, maybe he got better. He's back.
But it boosted his ego, so he kept on going. Yeah. But it's not like he stopped being an artist for 26 years.
No.
It was just channeled into, as you mentioned, he did toy design for Hasbro, and then as an independent designer, he also did set design for Paramount Parks. So there was always something he was doing where he was painting and creating. It just wasn't on canvas.